Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first of 3 videos that I'm going to be doing for the Cheltenham Paddy Power meeting. I'll do one for Friday, one for Saturday, one for Sunday, and I'll put them up hopefully around this sort of time each day. I'm a little bit ahead of myself now work-wise. I've not done one of these vids for quite a while because I've been helping my good friend Mr. Delagi get the punting pointers off the ground. And now we have, and we're sort of into a bit more of a routine with that. I've got a little bit more time. So I thought, although obviously I've written three of the races up on the Daily Punt today, I thought I'd go through the rest of Friday's card, just sort of let you know my thoughts. We look like starting on good to soft ground. It's a drying day today. They had 7 mil of rain last night, but it will dry back a little bit today. Saturday could be a barrel of laughs though, because I've seen various they are going to get some rain. That's almost guaranteed. It's just how much. I've seen 3 different forecasts, one saying they might get 4 mil, one saying they might get 7 mil, and I've seen one that says they could get 11 mil. Now obviously there's going to be quite a difference if they get 4, if they get 11, and it's going to make punting on Saturday very much a sort of late call, I think. We'll see. We may know more tomorrow. Friday going into Saturday, we might have a bit more of an idea of how long that weather front's going to linger over Gloucestershire as to what we might be getting. Anyway, that's then. This is now. 1:15 Cheltenham tomorrow. 2 mile 5 furlong conditional jockeys. Handicap hurdle. A very tricky one to start the card off with. The first one that sort of caught the eye was Magic Dancer because he goes well at Cheltenham. But 2 mile 5. I'm not sure about the trip for Magic Dancer. I think he might just find this a step. Might just find it a step too far, I think. Don't Ask is quite interesting. First one for Alex Hales, having left Warren Gretrix. I went and had a look at Alex's record with them first time up. Now, it's a bit misleading because it says he hasn't had a winner in the past year with horses that have been transferred to him, but I'm pretty sure Hyconic wasn't his, and he won with that first time up, so it's a bit mixed. But Don't Ask is on a nice looking mark now on the best of his form, and the ground should be ideal for him. It's a case of whether Alex has managed to turn his fortunes around after a pretty poor season last season. He was quite highly tried, to be fair. Lungano Palace is a regular in these, but he just you end up tearing your out with him. Tellart's now got blinkers on. They've gone for stronger headgear after a very lacklustre effort. Although Ben Paulins again now are running better than they were. I'm loath to say he's banging back in form again, because last time I said that he immediately went south. And Juno's blindingly obvious after a run or two as well for David Pipe. He could be well handicapped. Similarly, Tango Boy. It's one of these races you end up going through it and you end up going mad. The Eagle is landed is probably where my quid each way is going to end up, I think. Ideally wants a little bit further than this, but the ground will be ideal for him. I think the ground will be spot on, and it was all right at Uttoxeter. That was his first run for the best part of 18 months. Finished midfield behind Captain Drake there, and he showed enough, no more than that, just enough to make me think he still retains his ability. Well, conditions are absolutely fine for him here, and I think if he can take a step forward off of that, he's got each way chances. But honestly, it's a pound each way race and no more. It's that sort of a difficult race. The 150 is the 2 mile handicap chase. I've already put up on the slopes on the Daily Punt. I see no reason to change my mind. I think he'll probably go off favourite on the slopes. There's steady money for him, has been over the past 24 hours for him, about 3 to 1 now. 7 to 2 is long. He's starting to go. I'm of the opinion he needed that run behind Rouge Vif last time. And if you believe that and that he's going to step forward from that, then I think he should be favourite for this. I know, having spoken to Rory this morning, he takes a slightly different view. He just wonders whether he quite gets up this hill. I don't think there's enough evidence yet to say that he doesn't get up the hill, but I can see where he's coming from. But all the same, I think he was a horse I liked a lot last season. I've mentioned him a time or two on the punt, put him up a couple of times, and he's a horse that was just steadily progressive throughout the season. I think his time from novice third to Simply the Bets and Imperial Law is one of the strongest pieces of handicap form that there is out there. And I think if he can reproduce that and go forward from that, I think he's got a really good chance. So he's favourite. I'm not telling you nothing that the market's not already telling you though. So the 225 though, it's only a 4-runner novices chase, but I do think these prices are wrong. The more I look, the more I think they're wrong. I really do. I will admit to having a little bit on Mossy Fen already at 11 to 2 last night, and a little bit on Paint the Dream at 18s. I may well, if the weather stays as is, I may well go in again. The only problem with this race is all 4 of them might want to go forward. Having said that, I think they'll be happy to take a lead with Protectorat this time over 2 mile 4. I think it only just gets this trip. I really do. I think he's going to end up falling between 2 stalls. Effectively, he's going to be an 18 furlong horse, and where do you go with them? You can just about eke the stamina out to 20 furlongs. On a good day, but I think a fast run 2 mile might suit him better. That's yet to be seen. What you do know is Protectorat's jumping was superb at Carlisle. It was really, really good. That fence at the bottom of the hill where he sort of winged it, sort of lost in translation style, it's conducive to that, really attacking it. It can make horses look better than they are, but not in the case of Protectorat. The jump in all the way around was really good there. It was very, very solid. And he's the rightful favourite. He is the rightful favourite. I make him a little bit bigger than the even money that he was. I say I'm near a sort of 5 to 4, 11 to 8, but even so, he's the one to beat. Safiel Stone, 13 to 8 looks short to me on what he's done. I think he needs to improve a little bit, particularly giving away £3 to Protectorat, and he's got to give 8 away to Mossy Fen and Paint the Dream. Quite simply, we just think all 4 of these horses, there's just not much between them. They're all give or take 140 horses, aren't they? So the fact that the bottom 2 are getting the way sort of tips me towards them. I'd like to see either Mossy Fen or Paint the Dream, given I've bet them both, get out in front and get into a rhythm. I think that's the key to this race. Whatever gets into a rhythm, and I know that's a stupid thing to say, it's a novice chase, of course. Whatever gets into a rhythm is probably going to win, but it's an interesting race, and I just thought the prices are wrong. They're in the right order, but I'd have the front 2 a little bit bigger and the outsiders a little bit shorter. We'll see. Cross country. Easy's Land should be winning this, really, but 4 to 6 isn't very exciting, is it? I'm rather hoping that they do a without market that you can bet on each way, because I'm not mad keen on Tiger Roll either, I have to say. I think he's probably going to need this as well. I know he needed that Navan run on the flat. I've got a feeling he'll need this too, and he's he isn't getting any younger now. He might need a bit longer to oil the gears. Similarly, Potter's Corner, I'm not mad keen on Potter's Corner. There's been, the likes of Little Bruce could take to it. This might be his thing, because his jumping's not always brilliant, so the knocking the tops off these fences might be alright. There's been footage of King's Temptation this week. He's taken these fences okay. And the first one I looked at, when I first looked at this race earlier in the week, was Kingswell Theatre, who went off favourite for this last year. It shouldn't be forgotten. No, it goes without saying this year's affair is a classier affair than it was last year. That much is for sure. And Kingswell Theatre's got to run from a stone out of the handicap here and more. But this is less about handicapping and more about rhythm of the race and that sort of thing. So I'm not overly worried that he's a stone out of the handicap, daft as it sounds. I'd want bigger than 28, that's for sure, if I was having a bet. But he's got a reasonable record fresh. We know he can win this race. He won it back in 2017, 2018, one or the other. I think it was 2018 he won it, but I'm happy to be proved wrong on that. So we know he acts around this track. He's probably been lined up for this. He may ultimately just fall short, but if you after a daft quid each way on something to give you a bit of fun. The thing is, last year he was made favourite for this, and the ground was too soft. Tomorrow the ground won't be soft. 4 of his 5 runs last year came on soft ground. He does not want soft ground at all. He doesn't act on it. He acts better when it's good to soft, as he did when he was 20 lengths behind Easy's Land here in the December cross country last year. That was the one time he got his ground, really. Tomorrow shouldn't be too bad. I could see him outrunning his odds, but as I say, I want a bit bigger than that, a bit bigger than 28, I think. And hopefully there will be once everyone's priced up tonight. Novice Hurdle, I've not got a lot of interest in. Polish, if he jumps, needs to polish up his jumping. Listen, he clattered through half the hurdles last time and still only got beat 6. So if he can, and that form, is really not a million miles behind the likes of what Grand Mogul did when he won at Chepstow. And it's probably better than what Wild Romance achieved when winning at Chepstow. So it's a pity he ain't got the dead 8 here. The dead 8 and a double figure price would have made him a bit more appealing, because even if he does hit a couple, he should still be thereabouts. Does he know is the one to beat? He was quite impressive around here in October when he beat Midnight River, and he looked a thorough stayer in the process as well. He looked like a step up to 3 mile. Will probably be on the cards at some point this season. He is the one to beat, and I don't think he'll have a problem with the ground. It should be absolutely spot on for him. But as I say, if the price is right, I could be tempted to chuck a quid at Polish, I suppose, but not really that interesting. And then we come to the novices handicap hurdle to finish the card, and I am of course sticking with One True King. Those of you who regularly follow my missives, and the post Cheltenham missive from the festival that came out for me was that One True King was the one I wanted for this season out of the champion bumper. When you looked at him in the paddock, really lovely looking horse. For a big lad, he's extremely well put together, and he's actually quite athletic, and he's shown his athleticism with the way that he jumped at both Uttoxeter and here at Cheltenham last time. I mean, he's very, very quick and nimble. He spends no time in the air over his hurdles, and he was just unlucky really. He's just bumped into an even better better handicapped horse than him here last time out in Tegarek. It was really well back near the off. It was about 9-1 into 5-1 in the last sort of 10-15 minutes, I think, before the off. You know, John Joe's lot knew they had a pretty well handicapped one, and the pair of them pulled clear off the turn. They were well clear of Ashington. The form looks very solid. The handicap has been kind, I think, with a £2 rise. He could have given him more, in my opinion. Time figure's good. Ground won't be an issue, and I think if he can run that race again, you know, you're getting each way 7-1, which looks good value to me, because I'd have him. What price would you have him to finish in the first 4 here? About 5-4 to finish in the first 4, 11-8 maybe. I think you're getting decent each way value with One True King. Yes, there are potential improves in here. The Bee's Knees was a very, very, very ready winner at Musselburgh last time. He's got different conditions to face here. All of his wins so far, wins have come at Musselburgh, Newton Abbot, and he's run well at Market Raisin as well. So, you know, it's tight, flat track form. He's got new conditions to deal with here, but he's clearly a horse that's on the up. Panic Attack, similarly, got the better of Flat White. He looked more of a stayer there. You know, that was 2 mile at Uttoxeter. I think we'll see Panic Attack win, lose or draw tomorrow, stepping up in trip later on in the season. I'm sure of that. He looked more of a galloper there. Take It Easy won nicely at Huntingdon, but Pam Sly's the time to catch hers, I think, is fresh rather than when they've already won it. Seabourn still well handicapped. This is tougher than what he's been winning at Stratford and Fontborough, but he's still well handicapped on the best of his form as well. So there's plenty in there with chances, but I do think One True King, you know, if he's the horse I think he might be by the end of this season, i.e. 140 plus, then he's got a good chance here of 127, I think. And it's good to see Twiston Davis is coming back to form as well after a really quiet October by their own standards. Normally they sort of get going October time, but they've been slow to get going this year. But his last sort of dozen runners, much better. 3 winners in there, and 3 or 4 of them placed as well. So they appear to be coming back to form, which only increases a bit of confidence in One True King. So there we go. That's Friday's card. I'll be back and do Saturday's card back this sort of time tomorrow. Hopefully about sort of midday tomorrow. Once I've had a thorough go through that. Thanks a lot.